Now, episode 3 of the Amazing Digital Circus was sort of pleasing because I was sort of more surprised they went more in depth of what the bodies of each character can do, should do, and maybe still not really sure why they actually do that. On top of all this, you focus three major kind of groups or persons. Like the first group would be basically Paimon and Kinger, the second one would be Zoomer and Kane, and the last one a little bit of Jax. But all three groups, you really start to understand how they act and the reason why they act, and develop more deeper the lore of a major digital circus, and could actually be more affecting them or not, or even Ken knows what he's actually doing. Now, before I get started, my name is Retro. I like to talk about animation, not just animation reviews, first impressions, cartoon theories, and sometimes, if I have some spare time, cartoon breaking news. If, of course, you like how it's going, you like to help my channel, put like, comment, and subscribe. That's the only thing you need to do. If not, that's cool. If you do, thank you, because I am getting close to my main goal of 2,000 subscribers. And yes, I'm getting close every single day because of people who like, comment, and share. Thank you. Now let's start breaking down of episode 3 of Imagine Digital Circus. Very beginning, how the whole gang is just having the moment, like seeing what Pommy can do if she holds her breath, because technically none of them can actually die, but Pommy can't really grab that idea of you cannot die. She freaks out that she needs technically to breathe to be alive, even that she doesn't need it because she is almost immortal in a way. All of them are, but it still is sort of interesting how each one of them sort of explains what happened to them and they hold their breath. That is just super interesting. They explain each single character except Jax, because I guess Jax is too scared, or according to him, he's saying, well, I want to keep it as a surprise. AKA, he is scared. At least that's how I chose to interpret it. But I find it fascinating. Everybody has a sort of a thing with their bodies. They have to really understood what they actually are, because any little differences can change the moment or what they can actually do. That tells me they not yet fully explored their bodies, what they actually can do or not do. Even that, according to them, they cannot die. Maybe they could be wrong. Maybe this is the reason why Jax is so scared. Maybe he find out maybe they can die and he just don't want to be unfortunately figured it out. But once more, that's something that's just so interesting because they keep playing around the sort of universe and body finding the experiment in their own body because it's just sort of fascinating. In fact, I'll probably do the same thing if they were in the same position as them. Now, the major highlight of this episode is basically Pommy and Kinger. How they sort of have to do this another game about this haunted house. They sort of accidentally went to wrong path and then just alone try to survive this sort of kind of spooky Resident Evil try to survive, not to get your soul dragged to hell kind of scenario. But it's all about the moment, all about Kinger calming down Pommy and Kinger becoming a Chad now because he actually is trying to remember things that he couldn't back in the normal digital circus, but somehow the dangerous events they have to play this little game actually help him to remember even more. You show you how wise King really is, even that he's sort of a mess, but show his wisdom to Pommy because Pommy is broken. She is quietly freaking out, doesn't know what to do, and she's not a well-adjusted person in that sort of scenario of sort of haunted houses. And I love how Pommy and Kinger sort of support each other, specifically Kinger, how he explained about his backstory, what happened to his wife, how she became distracted. It's give you a sort of trust. As someone who has years of experience living and learning to keep moving forward. Don't let things drag you down, especially when Kinger loses his memory and loses his mind every couple of seconds that you don't know truly why. Maybe because of his illness, maybe it's not, maybe the body he has is not actually working as well he believes to. A lot of questions, no answers, but you have all the fuzzies because Kinger really is a nice, kind person who wants to help everybody, or at least whatever he can, the moments he is sort of mentally stable. And I love how Kinger kind of leave Pommy to be more brave. You can do it, I can do it, and we keep pushing forward. Now, that's the basically the one of the best highlights of this episode. Now, the second highest highlight is basically Zubo and Kinger, because we actually kind of dive in more why Zubo being Zubo, like how she doesn't want to play games, she doesn't want to communicate, she won't do nothing, she's just frustrated. And Kinger trying to figure out what's going on. Let's have some therapy. Let's talk one on one. But the more they keep talking, the more you realize Kinger not really good at his job. Even that Zubo explains what her biggest issue is, that she's not really feel comfortable with the body she has or herself. Something is not there. And Kinger sort of give an answer of, oh yeah, we have a bunch of spare parts. We add you, fix you. But I love that moment she explained, no, I'm here at the very beginning I was doing the same thing, figuring out the body, figure out myself, but she can't. But the more she trying to explain, the more Kinger won't get it. In fact, she almost broke Kinger, telling him that he's not really good at his own job. That he realized he doesn't know what he's doing or understand nothing about them, especially Zubo. And that's the most interesting part. You see him breaking not just himself mentally, the whole digital circus. Everything falling apart, and Zubo doesn't know what to do till she kind of brings us back other different things to make him think about something else. It seemed to me Kinger is very flawed. Anything he break his sort of mentality or the rules he was set could easily break down the whole Bessie Digital circus. We don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, because it could be a good thing. If it is, they could actually be free of their digital hell, because according to Parmy, it feels like torture every single game. And this was sort of could be the answer, maybe, or more the damnation, because if it is not, and they bring Kinger, everything could be actually shut down. Could be basically becoming all black, just themselves, lonely in the darkness, becoming another version of abstraction. That could be a very interesting thing, especially with Zubo figuring out who she is, what she wants, and what to do. It's just very interesting conversation, especially how the whole thing ended as a sort of joke or reverse psychology that Zubo became the psychologist and Kinger became her patient, telling her what his feelings and his own problems, even that Kinger supposed to be the one who fixing her, not the vice versa. In fact, that is sort of a very old comedy cliche for old sitcoms. I didn't believe they'd do that, but once more, a cliche always works if you know what you're doing with the characters and truly understand the characters. And this is the reason why that joke works so well. Of course, our last highlight is Jack. That really shows Jack getting a little bit unstable, a little bit more frustrated, more scared. Like you see it, but it's not really highly spotlight. You have little moments like doing horrific things with the others, but you don't know this is normal or he is freaking out and breaking down to himself because of the moments that he doesn't have fun enough or he have nothing in control or any interesting fun chaos to actually focus on. If he doesn't, it feels to me he probably be the next one to be basically dignified. In other words, could be in the same problem like the rest of the other former comrades he used to work with. He becomes, what's the word? Ditchified, I think. I'm sorry, I keep forgetting the word. Something I remember it, something I don't. But I feel fascinating, especially how the whole rest of the team members who stuck to him playing the game of the haunted house got tired of him and tied him up. But you could tell he is being more frustrated, more angry, more abstracted. That's the word. That he feels who could be the next character of the group, who could be the next more dignified or abstracted of the next stage, because he has that sort of distress. Like he doesn't know how to ask for help or say something's wrong or his mentality is breaking. That could be a very interesting sort of take, especially how the fandom are pointing out could be a hint that is actually Jack is the next person to go crazy besides maybe Kinger. But Kinger has everything sort of handled if you see the what happened to Pommy and Kinger, how he is lost, but at the same time not really because he believes in the people around him. And I feel there's a difference of Kinger and Jack. You could say Kinger could go freak out, lose his mind, but he never will because he has basically backup. He has his friends to rely on. Jack is the opposite. He does not want to rely on them. He is just in chaos. He wants to be in chaos to not rethink the situation he really is. It just leaks of the moments he's trying to be an asshole or a prankster. He feels he is abstracting, getting close to that moment. At least those are the things I kind of appeal to me watching this episode. Now, in conclusion of this episode 3, it was a fun time, especially what is this sort of kind of haunted house mixed with Resident Evil. They're stuck in a house and each one had to get out of the house, but they figured out the right pathway. You have two pathway, the sort of survival pathway or the pacifist pathway. But you do understand what two pathways can actually happen and do if you choose the wrong one or the right one. Yeah, I found it fun and interesting how both different groups took their situation and make it worse or make it better, sort of the different choices they actually made. But other than that, this was fun, especially the lore. You understand more what Kinger could do, should do, and what happened keeps broken. You also understand this games they're playing technically it's not really helping them that much, or maybe it is. It's sort of like a double-edged sword because Kinger doesn't know what he's doing, and it's just sort of fascinating how this could actually is kind of working. We don't know, and that's just the fascinating thing all about this. I don't know you. How you felt about this episode? Do you hate it? Do you like it? Tell me down below. Let me know. I got nothing else to say. Just thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and have a wonderful day. Bye.